Hi everyone, my name is Bobby Lee. I'm the co-founder of BTCC, also previously known as BTC China, the very first Bitcoin exchange in China that launched in 2011. And I'm also a board member of the Bitcoin Foundation. I'm not involved in any projects actively right now. As many people know, my company BTCC got acquired earlier this year, so now I have more free time on my hands. I'm still helping them out on some advisory stuff, but otherwise I spend a lot of time attending conferences, giving speeches, and also pursuing some of my own hobbies. Well, the aim is really to educate. It's really to educate the people, the community, also the world about Bitcoin, the power of, Bitcoin cryptocurrency, why it's freedom of money, why it's the ultimate form of freedom. For a true democracy, I think people have to have freedom of their money. If the money that people have is controlled by governments, by banks, by regulators, then the people are essentially enslaved by society, enslaved by government, and it's not true freedom. So that's a topic that I've been spreading the knowledge about. As long as we live in a free country with free press and freedom of speech, I think it's okay for people to hear these ideas. And people have to judge for themselves. Do they agree with this concept that with Bitcoin, information is money, private keys, holding private keys, that's your control of the asset class? Do they agree that that's a freedom of money, and is freedom of money important? I share the ideas. In the end, it's ultimately for the people to decide whether they agree or not. It's a good idea. The crypto community needs. I think in the last 2 years, there's been a lot of new people coming in, especially with the frenzy of ICOs and altcoins and tokens and all that, utility tokens, investment and speculation. So, and of course, the market is going through a correction. So a lot of people will lose money. I do think that it'll take some time for people to really understand the core of why crypto was invented 10 years ago, why crypto is important to our society. It'll take some time for people to sink in. So a lot of people today are in it for just hit and run, speculative trading to make a quick buck like day trading, but that's not the ultimate purpose of crypto. Like Bitcoin was not invented to facilitate day trading or to facilitate quick earnings or to facilitate ICOs and fundraising. That's not the true purpose. So I think people are misguided in that sense. True fundamentals are that, hey, it's a new asset class. If you're afraid of governments taking away your money, if you're afraid of your money devaluing, you're afraid of people controlling what you can buy, what you can sell, then you should learn about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I think the true way for people to expose is for them to try to buy and hold their own Bitcoin. I think that's also very important. In the past, like I shared in my speeches, today, in modern times, ownership is about identity. The idea that you buy a house, it's registered in my name. You buy a car, it's registered in the name. Even airline tickets registered in your name. But in the past, ownership is by physical possession. You hold it, a piece of gold, a gold coin, or a necklace, or the clothes you wear, or the watch you wear. You own it because you have it. Whereas with houses and cars and bank accounts and stocks, you own it not because you hold it, but you own it because it's in your name. So the future is about ownership by information, the notion that you own it because you have the private key, that you know of the private key. No one else in the world knows your private key, so no one else can move the assets. But you have the assets because you have the private key, and therefore you can move the assets, and that's your asset. So that's the truth of digital assets. Well, you could buy real estate, you could get rich. You could buy gold and get rich. You could buy stocks and get rich. You could buy Bitcoin and get rich. It's a matter of, whether your investments will go up in price. I do think Bitcoin is undervalued. I do think Bitcoin is a good investment. Yeah, but there's many other good investments as well. So I definitely encourage people to have a diversified asset class: real estate, gold, cryptocurrency, as well as fundamentals. Fundamental assets. In terms of cryptocurrency, I just invest in probably the four most popular ones. So Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash. Just those. In a few years, prices will consolidate again and give us another bull market. I think it's very cyclical. The market, there's bear market, there's bull market. It comes every few years. So if you're a believer in crypto, just be patient. Good things come to those who wait. Good things come to those who have patience. I think it's no different than crypto and Bitcoin.
I don't mind.
Same here. I do think we go through hype cycles. I do think that. So I think Bitcoin will eventually recover and break through our last high. So the last high was $20,000, $20,000 in December of 2017. So it might take a few years. It might take 2, 3, 4 years to break past that. But I'm confident it will break past that in the next bull run. I mentioned the key concepts of Bitcoin being a new class of ownership. It's a new asset class, ownership by information, by possession of private keys, and also that Bitcoin with private keys, it's about freedom of money. The idea that they no longer have control, but you have your own control of your money. So it's very important for democracy, it's very important for society, for free society, for people to have freedom of money, for people to have their own control of their own money to send and receive however they want, whenever they want, to whoever they want. I think especially in Asia, a lot of speculative trading. So they trade. They in all of Asia, they've always had a lot of speculative trading in stocks and real estate and commodities and foreign exchange, and now there's a lot of speculative trading in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and so on, and ICO tokens as well. But whereas in other countries, like whether it's Venezuela, Argentina, Turkey, where the economy and the currency is in flux, they use it as a hard currency, as a flight of capital, to change the local currency into Bitcoin so it's safer. So there's a lot of that. And then in other countries, people earn money, they use it as a store of value, as an investment for the long term. So Bitcoin price is supposed to be stable globally, but there are occasional times where it goes much higher in certain countries or goes lower in certain countries. Again, it's due to the money flow problem. Yeah, because money does not flow freely in the free society. So many countries have currencies that are restricted and controlled. So only some of the largest currencies like US dollar, euro are freely traded, but many other countries have restricted currencies. So in that sense, when the restrictions are tight, that's when the Bitcoin price goes out of whack. It becomes like the black market price of the currency.